I have never in my life heard the word buttercloth used more than what you were just using it for.
Buttercloth, buttercob.
Is it like some kind of thing that you use for a table?
No, it's an incredible shirt brand.
Oh.
I don't mind promoting it.
I 100% was thinking that, is this like a cloth that you put over butter? So
that's what it feels like. Yeah. Imagine wearing that.
So it's kind of like a massage and a moisturizer.
I'm like,
that's okay.
yeah. But they use mint and stuff. They're stretchy white shirts, nice dress shirts. I'll wear one on Monday, but they're the best shirts I've found.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to come and see what you're talking about on Monday then.
You'll smell it.
I'll smell it? Does it smell like butter? I guess that is like a question. Oh, man. Man, why is it pop?
Utah brand?
No, I don't know. I order them. I think they're from New York. I'm not sure.
So the brand is Buttercloth.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking that maybe it was the material.
Like when I saw his shirt, I'm like, that's a high quality shirt, and it immediately made me think of Buttercloth.
Okay.
I'm on more of a budget. The shirts I wear, I can't believe it's not Buttercloth.
Oh man.
So Evan Orme over here, who is our CTO, he is known around the office for just dropping the most spectacular dad jokes ever, and they're all so raw and in the moment, just like that one. I can't believe it's not.
It doesn't matter how intense the conversation is, it's coming.
Yeah.
Usually a movie quote or
Simpsons.
I was going to say it's always Simpsons.
Yeah.
An
episode.
Evan here, you've probably seen every episode of The Simpsons, haven't you?
I think I have.
Yeah. Yeah, it's...
Maybe not the last couple seasons, but...
Okay. Well, there's still plenty of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, lunch breaks. You'll see Evan in there watching Simpsons, getting caught up.
There you go.
No, so we are here today on the Big Access podcast with almost the entire executive team. We are missing Brian. Brian decided, hey, you know what? I'm a finance guy. I don't really need to give any sneak peeks into the future. And so we're fine. Don't come on here, Brian.
He could have talked about pricing.
He could have. I mean,
good at pricing.
He is good at pricing. We will take that. But the rest of the executive team is here. So we already introduced Evan Orme, our CTO. We got Dallan Labrum, who you all know, no introduction needed. We've got Brad Baldwin. He's actually been on the podcast plenty of times as well. So today we're going to be talking about products. So naturally we have to have him on here. He loves talking products. And then our fearless leader, Evan Tree, is finally back on the Big Access podcast. It's only been 104 episodes since you've been on, and that is not an exaggeration.
I like that.
This is episode 105, and you have not been on since episode 1.
We'll see you at 210.
Okay.
If we get 500 likes on this episode, I'll put on Brad Baldwin's shirt.
Is Buttercloth and you guys? No. And back down the rabbit hole.
I don't know about that.
Oh, he likes it too much.
Oh man. Well, today we're bringing kind of a special topic to you guys today. We are going to be giving you a little sneak peek into things that are coming up here at PDK. We have been working very hard over the last while. It seems like forever, right? On some new launches and some new products that we are really excited to bring out to the world, and really excited to talk a little bit more about these to you today. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce one by one what these different items are going to be, and then we'll dive into each one of these and talk a little bit about what they are, why we put them on our roadmap, and how they're going to help benefit you guys. So first and foremost, we've got a brand new user interface that's coming out, right? And you might be thinking, you guys just launched PDK 2.0. Well, that was a year ago. Crazy, right? And we've been working on this ever since we hit 2.0. So this is pretty cool, and I think you're going to like what you see with this. The next thing is we have revamped the ProdataKey app to be a completely brand new app called the PDK Access app. So
correct.
Very excited about that one too. It's a cool experience. I'm a big fan. We have a brand new integration that is actually out, and this one is a really big one for us, and very excited about the capabilities that it offers. It's an integration with Zapier. So that's pretty rad. And then we also have a new wireless lock set that we're teasing and going to talk very briefly about today. But we figure that you guys should know that it's coming. So first and foremost, let's talk the user interface. We have a brand new user interface that we are rolling out. Brad, will you tell me why we had to go and decide that we're going to build this brand new user interface?
Great question. One of the things that we've talked about in our podcast before is we are really interested in voice of customer. What are people saying about what we are doing? And what are the things that we need to do better? One of the things that we're very frequently hearing from our customer sat surveys, both from our dealers, our installation partners, and the customers who they install product for, was that our current app feels a little disjointed at times. They love how easy it is, but often you'll be opening some part of the UI, some modal will appear, it'll disappear, and then you have to kind of scroll and go back and search for where you're at. Some of the things that we had done felt a little bit disjointed as far as a workflow. Some of the things were there, but hard to actually see, or were difficult to find without taking a couple of extra steps. So this whole new UI, what we're trying to do and what we're accomplishing from what we've heard in our beta, is we're trying to create a much more streamlined experience. We want to keep the user front and center in focus of the action that they want to do from start to finish. And we want to give them that whole experience in a little bit more of a modern take, a little uplift of the user interface so it feels a little fresh, all while keeping it the same PDK simple, easy to use experience that everyone's accustomed to.
Well, and that's one thing that I noticed when you started showing us this. You know, it was one of those situations where I didn't necessarily think that, you know, why do we need a whole new user interface? Our user interface is already easy. It's already something that customers love. And then I saw it and I went, oh my gosh, this is even easier.
Yeah.
Just when you think PDK can't get easier, it does. So
That's the nuance that I've been seeing a lot of, having an actual product guy at PDK who's focused solely on the product. Because from a sales perspective, before Brad got here, everyone's like, dude, your stuff is so easy compared to what's out there. And from a salesperson's perspective, we're like, great, that's done. No more questions. Then you get Brad and his team, and they're like, well, what could we do to make it better? What, you know, asking all those right product questions. And so then you get to the deeper parts of it.
Yeah.
Because like if we were to compare a product to other things that are out there, we probably wouldn't make too many changes. But when you compare it to this product ideal that only product people think about, now all of a sudden you start getting, we're moving into just an amazing product that's not going to be just slightly better.
Yeah.
But like people are going to have to play catch up with us.
no, it's pretty freaking spectacular.
I'm excited for that.
Your team, Evan, has done a fantastic job of building this out and making it to be a really great experience. I mean, right now we're just about wrapped up with creating all the LMS videos and having this full training platform ready to go and updated. And I can't tell you how simple it is going through saying, okay, yeah, this is exactly how we do this. And making the videos for our LMS has been simple. So thank you.
It's been a super exciting project to work on, to be able to update so much about what we're doing from a technology standpoint, from a look and feel standpoint. PDK is a mobile first company, and so we do our lens and how we view the product is so much through the mobile app. And there's a trait about mobile apps is that they're smaller powered devices. They often have a less than stellar internet connection. And so it's what's really also exciting underneath all the surface, beauty of this new interface is a very streamlined, sleek, and performant engine underneath it. Whenever we're using it and we're comparing it to the old app and the old interface, it's immediately obvious that the new app is quicker, it's snappier, and it just feels so much better to use it, and we think that's just a combination of all the work that's been done on the product side, plus all the enhancements in engineering, where we've been trying to add as much performance as we can.
Yeah, no kidding.
Orders of magnitude.
That's right.
Isn't that what you said at the quarterly meeting? It's orders of magnitude faster than our old app. Is that true?
I think I said something like that.
Absolutely the truth.
That's
especially-
incredible.
And in fact, I think everyone's going to experience it. When you go into a system that is based on 2.0, that has all the 2.0 software down all the way to the controller's cloud node, this experience is going to give you the absolute best, richest, fastest, most performant, fluid experience that we've ever created.
Yeah.
We have made the older systems still work, obviously, with this environment. But again, this is just one more reason. If you're thinking about moving a customer to the newer experience of 2.0, this is yet another very strong reason to do so. It's easier, it's faster, it's where all the new features are at.
And you're already paying for it. Come on, let's go. That's why you use cloud-based stuff. Let's go. Move to the future.
I agree. Another thing that we have got coming out here in the next little bit is the new PDK Access app. Now, Evan, you said something a little bit ago that really is important to me on the marketing side, because we say this all the time, but we are a mobile-first company, right? We have always been a mobile-first company, right, Evan?
That's correct.
Why, when you guys were seeking out and going to build PDK, why was it important to make sure that we were a mobile-first company?
Well, fortunately, I have had the opportunity to work with Brad in the past. We both have been in the security space, but very focused on the consumer and the consumer experience. And when you think about what has changed the world in the last 10 years, it's been the mobile phone.
These computers in our pockets.
That's right. And so that's the goal. It has been from day one to be able to provide a very seamless, easy to use mobile first experience.
Yeah.
And it's exciting that we can build great products that people look at and say, wow, this is different than everything else in the industry. And then we can mature to the point we are today, where we can look at our own products and say, wow, this is cool, but how do we make it better? Mm-hmm. And that's what the focus has been, and that's what this team has done a wonderful job of doing.
Yeah. This new app that we've built, the PDK Access app, it's a little bit different than the ProdataKey app. It's got a different user interface with it. But why did we decide that, hey, we need a different app here?
Yeah, that's another great question. And I would say if things are really working well, let's don't break it. Let's just keep it living. In fact, I learned that from a lot of integrators over the last 15 years that I've worked with. In the case of our mobile app, I will tell you that as I came on the team a few years back, I feel like the mobile app had an opportunity to be a little bit more driven around the persona of the user that's going to interact with the app. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is that this is the one piece of our technology stack that we hand over to someone who didn't choose to buy or use PDK. They were asked to download an app so they could get a Bluetooth credential, and then they are now using that as their credential to get in and out of doors. That user needs something very simple, very targeted, very focused. It always needs to work night and day. We don't know when someone's going to go to a gym and the gym door is there waiting for them to get in. The app needs to work. So in this case, what we've done is we've taken the PDK app and we've really dialed it in on two different types of personas. One is that end user. It's 80% of all of the people who interact with our mobile app on a daily basis. Someone with Bluetooth credentials, someone with a button that needs to open a door. That is its primary function in the number of people who use it. At the same time, we do know that administrators or people that work at companies that are going to onboard new employees, change things in the app, they would like to have that at their fingertips in the same place where they're getting through doors with the app themselves. And so we've created an access UI, think of it like that,
yeah,
and a manage UI, and we've made them very distinct and very purposeful. When you're in the access UI, you're seeing something that looks like a card with buttons, and it's easy and it's fast. It's designed to do only that. You switch modes over to the manage, and now I am looking at PDK.io and all of the rich features that I have as an administrator at a company, or if I'm an installer, I have full capabilities to go down and configure and enhance a device, do whatever I need to do. The reality is mobile is used everywhere. Some people are using it as a primary interface to install systems. Some are on top of ladders using it in crawl spaces because they don't have to drag a laptop around. Some are using it while they're at lunch when someone calls and has a concern or needs to check, an integrator needs to check in on something. They can open up their phone and go right to the customer system.
That's pretty cool.
It's a really valuable part of our system.
Yeah.
I don't think you mentioned what might be people's favorite part of the app. Dark mode.
Oh, dark mode, yes. In fact, we should say that dark mode is available in PDK.io.
That is true.
Which I think it's one of the first positive things we heard from some of our beta testers on the integrator side. They're like, oh, thank you, finally a dark mode. But it's the same thing in the mobile app.
Yeah.
So our app will follow the settings that you put on your phone. So if you've got your phone set to go to dark mode at night to, wind down the day, the blue light stop, our app will switch over to dark mode at night, stay light in the day. Or if you want to physically throw a switch, you can throw the switch, it'll stay in dark mode.
Yeah. When I first came onto PDK, I was like, why do all these installers want dark mode? And then I went on my first project to install with a company called Peak Alarm, and we got up in the crawl space and they turned on their laptop and it about blinded us with the screen, with the white screen. I'm like, I get it now. I get it why you want it. Because I was like, see the dot.
That's awesome. Well, one really cool thing that is in this new interface that you can also access from the new PDK Access app is a brand new tab on our main dashboard for integrations. So that is now right out on the main dashboard, and in there you can go and find all the different integrations that work with your PDK system. One that I'm really excited about and want to talk a little bit more about is Zapier. So Zapier is really cool and really unlocks a lot of potential for PDK. Tell me a little bit about what Zapier is, Evan.
All right. So Zapier is sort of like an an integration as a service type of a product. Zapier is not produced by PDK. It's very, very ubiquitous in the industry for being able to automate business processes using technology.
Yeah.
And so you can sort of picture in a graphical interface being able to grab different components, and being able to hook them together through connectors, like you're drawing some sort of a flow diagram. And Zapier handles all the coding in the background. Now, what does a Zapier integration for PDK means? Well, that means that in Zapier, one of those components can be PDK, and that component can do different things. It can open doors, and anything you can imagine to do with an access control system, and you can have it send emails or do something else, trigger something else in some sort of other integration that you have into Zapier. So you can sort of picture it as a grand central station where so many of your different tools and infrastructure that you have at your business can come together and can be linked up by someone who doesn't need a bachelor's in computer science to do.
Yeah.
And so it's ultimately we think it's going to be a really exciting integration for people and open up a whole new category of opportunity to use PDK in ways that we can't think of.
That's really cool. We've got a ton of different opportunities out there, especially with like scheduling softwares and things like that. I've noticed that that's a big thing, that there's a lot of those in Zapier that you'll now be able to plug right into your PDK.io system and be able to schedule different things with PDK.io.
There's so many different softwares out there. Just individual software.
What is it, 8,000 that they say?
Zapier claims that there are 8,000 plus zaps.
Yeah.
And that's these little individual components that you can chain together through an automation. And it's real. I have some interactions with some of our partners. One of the partners was looking to do some onboarding with a guest management system, where a guest management cloud-based system was compiling people's names. They were able to take Zapier and PDK, and within an hour, they were able to get an integration with this cloud-based member management system, and they were putting all those people inside of PDK. Partner shows up, shows the customer. They had a working prototype within an hour. and he closed a 25-door deal.
That's pretty awesome.
It's a salesperson.
And it's absolutely a flexible thing that you can do a lot of interactive integration without having to have a dedicated integration.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have a developer.
And what a revenue opportunity as a dealer. If I was a dealer and I could offer this to my customers and charge a reasonable fee for doing so, and it took very little effort on my own, hey, I'm all for it.
For sure.
And because there's so many different softwares, a lot of times maybe an end user will just look for whoever integrates with that software that they're looking to use. And then they end up with a suboptimal access control system.
Yeah.
The cool thing, we get probably asked each individual salesperson PDK at least once a day if we integrate with something. And with Zapier, we get to say yes a whole lot more, which is
that's
awesome.
true, right? That's really cool.
Back in the beginning, as we envisioned what we were building here, one of the primary features that we always wanted was an app store.
Yeah.
And to me, this is a version of an app store that has 8,000 apps in it, and we can now connect into those and continue to grow and expand on that initial vision.
It's so cool. And so, like we mentioned earlier, that is actually out and available on all of your PDK-IO 2.0 systems now. So go out and check that out. Reach out to the sales team and let them know if there's something that you're looking to do, and we can absolutely help you guys get that up and running. So we don't have a lot of time left on this episode, but I do want to talk about the wireless lock set really quick.
Haven't heard of it.
Oh, you haven't heard of it at all?
Don't do that. We're not doing that right now. Come on.
You have been working on this project for a little bit now.
Also, almost from the beginning.
Yeah. So why did we decide to, hey, let's get a lock set as well?
Well, because we listen to our customers.
Yeah.
And
Couldn't say that better.
it has not, it's something that we hear continuously. And I think one other item or one other facet of PDK is that we listen to our customers. And so the customer is asking for it. It makes sense. It's an awesome product. We live in a wireless world. It's crazy to think that we can be the best of the best at access control without wireless locks.
Yeah.
And so this is a great move for the company, and I think everyone will appreciate what a great wireless lock experience we can bring to the market.
It's pretty cool. We've got a few of them around the office right now that we're having some fun with. We've got a couple of different form factors. We're not going to go too in-depth on the info yet. We don't want to give too much of a sneak peek. But, Brad, what kind of form factors do we have of this lock set?
Yeah, I think the two main ones that we'll be launching with, a deadbolt and a cylindrical. Both of them have different kind of users, different kind of use cases. Some of them are different price than others. The cylindrical lock will come with multiple color metals, handle styles, keyways. So it's a real live product.
Yeah.
With all of the magic of PDK inside. In fact, hats off to our engineering team on this, because think of the yellow can that is the controller, an R1, right? Think of that and think of a red reader and think of those things coming together into a small little package and being placed on the front of a door. That's really what we have done. And that piece of technology is a first-class citizen with all of the same functions, all of the same management capabilities of an R1 and a red reader.
Yeah.
So it's really a powerful solution.
It's pretty cool, right? And you can go and add these directly within PDK-IO software. It's all part of the user interface. It's a great experience.
Yeah, that first class citizen principle is something that we all agreed upon when we began with this project, and something that continually comes to mind, and what excites me about this project is when you add access control to it makes your life better. It adds value. A facility with a cloud-based access control solution is orders of magnitude
Yeah, I love that.
better
Chills.
than alternatives, and so we want to be able to open more doors to the opportunity to be under access control. From the front entry to the building, all the way to the lowliest closet, and it's technology like this that makes that possible.
It's pretty freaking cool. So be looking to hear more about this product coming soon. But guys, we are out of time, but thank you a ton for taking some time out of your busy days to come jump on this episode of the Big Access Podcast to give our viewers and our listeners a little bit of, a sneak peek into what is to come. So for those of you who have not already done so, be sure to subscribe to this podcast, give it a 5-star rating, and let us know if there's anything in particular you want to learn, and we'll be sure to add that to an upcoming episode. But thank you again for tuning in. We will see you next time.